All right, welcome. Now, when it comes to fat loss, there are a lot of things that people need to remember. So let's take a look and see what this guy has to say. My name is Mike Over, and I've been featured in ABC 27 News. I've written for a lot of national publications, and definitely love adding some insight when it comes to fat loss. So let's have a listen here.
Here's the easiest way to accelerate fat loss. Now, I will mention last few weeks, I've been a little relaxed, going a little higher my calories, and I'm not quite as lean as I want to be. So if you want to push the envelope and get lean very fast, what's the easiest, most effective strategy you can do? Now, you have to have your calories dialed in. I actually recommend keeping your diet very, very simple. If you can cook, it's much easier to track your calories if you're cooking at home, okay? So if your diet's locked in, that's very, very important. I actually don't recommend going crazy low in calories because that's going to be really hard to stick to. You're going to fall off the wagon and probably overeat and run in circles. I also don't recommend doing tons of interval training and cardio. It just depletes willpower and it's really not necessary.
Okay, let's hold off here. He's saying that you should always cook at home. Now, this is always taken out of context because some people, when they make food at home, overeat. And some people make food for multiple people in their family. That's an easier way for them to overeat. Sometimes when people eat out, they're portion controlled and they do better on a fat loss diet, but it's depending on what you order. So, not necessarily there. And then also interval training. Now, we know it's all about the lifestyle and the body. If you're training and trying to diet, yes, you're adding stress. So doing interval work can be more problematic. But if your body is readily healthy, interval training can be a more effective way for fat loss. You can boost it. You can also increase a little bit more calorie output. And it's definitely something that can make you feel like you're doing something hard. So in my terms, I like doing hard things, but it's up to you.
Simplest and easiest way to lean down, assuming your nutrition's pretty solid, is simply just to walk more. The sweet spot for aggressive fat loss is 14,000 steps daily. If you're doing
Now, I like that. Walking is great. It actually has been proven that can be really good for fat oxidation. But again, I'm an athlete, and most guys like to do hard things. Something about me just trotting on an elliptical or walking sometimes just doesn't cut it when I'm wanting to really feel like I did something to accomplish. Now, don't get me wrong, walking is needed. You do it every day. But if you're really trying to up the ante and just walking and watching what you're eating, you can lose fat. But sometimes it's not giving that enough of, wow, I did something super awesome today.
14,000 steps daily, you're gonna lean down really, really quickly. In fact, my weight's about 180 pounds, 82 kilos. I'd be burning close to 900 calories a day just from walking. Now, if I have a resting metabolic rate of 2,000, the walking's gonna push me up to 2,900. And that doesn't count other activities. If I lift some weights, doing some other movements that aren't walking, then that's gonna push me close to 3,000. So, when I'm getting lean, I like to keep my calories around 2,300. So if I'm doing 14,000 steps a day, I'm pushing a pretty big 600 plus calorie deficit, 700 calorie deficit. So that's it. If I want to lean down really, really quickly, all I do is I do my fast for the first 5 hours of the day. I pretty much track my calories, keep to a small meal, big steak, potato, broccoli feast. I have 400 or 500 calories of dessert at night, and I just push the envelope. Like if I had a movie roll and I wanted to get like chiseled, I would just hit 14,000 steps daily and I would get lean like crazy. So if you want to get lean faster, walk. And it's not even that hard to do, okay? I'm walking right now while I'm holding this phone. You know what you can also do is you can walk with a friend. You can put on a podcast. You can listen to an audiobook. You can listen to Power of Now. You can take a work call, business call. You can call a friend and just go for a nice walk. It's winter in Canada. It's very nice though, so I'm lucky. If it's freezing cold, it's a little bit harder. You just gotta dress warm. Or you can even walk in your house or your apartment. Have a phone call, walk in circles, just get those steps in. If you get 14,000 steps in a day and you're not going over your calories, you will lean down so well. And one little
And I like that. You will. But again, it's always context. Is your body healthy? What about hormone levels? Do you have good testosterone levels? Even for females, a lot more go on with the adrenals, thyroid, because a lot of times females often chronically diet previously, which can make it harder. But in the grand scheme of things, walking is, and he's definitely right, spot on. Movement is medicine. Walking is the easiest thing. It really is great for fat oxidation. And also it can be shown proven to help with your fat loss goals. So, but at the end of the day, you also have to make sure you're eating the right foods.
Tip, if you find that you're falling off your calories a decent amount, write down the morning of exactly what you're gonna eat that day. Everything you're gonna eat, write it down, make sure that hits your calories, and just stick to that. When you write down what you're gonna eat, you're so much more dialed than if you just kind of go with the flow and, oh, I'm having dinner now, maybe I'll have this. Plan out what you're gonna eat for the day. I actually was going over my calories because for my dessert at night, I would have celebration cookies, okay? And I think this is like a cookie you can get in Canada. I don't know if you guys have it in the US or in the UK, but they're so good. It's like a wafer with a chocolate over it. And I would usually have like 5 or 6, which is like 400 calories. And then after a couple days, I would end up having 7 or 8 or 9. It is like, I couldn't get lean with celebration cookies. My willpower wasn't that strong. But if I do like a milk chocolate bar or I do some Tate cookies, they're in like a pre-wrap, 400 calories that it's like wrapped up. So it's way easier. So
I like this tip because he's knowing what he can't do. A lot of times, this is the trap for a lot of people where they have it in their house, they're going to eat it. And if you have kids, it even becomes more difficult. But that's another great thing that you can do, where when you portion control and write down or know what you're going to eat. Like every night, I know I'm going to have a bowl that's pre-measured, put some yogurt in it, put some berries, put some protein powder, good to go. And now the problem is when you open a bag of chips because it's endless, or you open the bag of goodies. So remember to portion control your snack and also stick to things that are more filling and higher in protein before bed, because it's going to fill you up and also do a good job recovery.
make sure you don't go over your dessert at night, because that will screw you up. But that's my little strategy. It's very easy. Hit your calories, push the steps to 14,000. And the cool thing is if you add lots of extra cardio, it's gonna diminish your recovery capabilities. If you're doing a lot of cardio, it's gonna diminish your recovery capabilities. If you just walk more and do 14,000 steps a day, it doesn't impair recovery. It doesn't affect my appetite at all. Walking burns a moderate amount of calories without spiking appetite. So the simplest way to get lean is, just walk more. It's so easy. If I wanna have a client that needs to lose like fat very, very quickly and it's something big is coming up, I'm not adding in tons of cardio. I'm gonna keep the lifting dialed, 3 lifts a week, shorter workouts, just 2 sets, because if you're doing too much volume, it's gonna stoke that appetite. I'd keep the volume very low, just 4 exercises, 2 sets, 2 hard sets, and then just have them walk 14,000 steps a day. Keep the diet locked in, keep it simple, have them cook more, and you will get lean. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below if you will.
Very good stat, because I mean, guys, when it comes down to it, people do overthink fat loss. And I think that he has a great point in just moving more with things that are easier, walking, setting yourself plans with your nutrition, and just eating by cooking in. If you eat out, make sure you order and know how to eat out and order healthy, and that's just the biggest thing you can take away, because fat loss is easier, but you always have to know context of what is healthy first, because you need to be healthy to be able to get healthier and diet more to get more ripped.
Do the 14,000 step challenge, at least for this next 7 days. I also have a really awesome little coaching group. It's $99 a month. We use School. We do a weekly call. I'm active in there every single day. If you want to be part of my coaching group to get into movie star shape, to learn about the mindset, building the whole lifestyle, then check the link in the description to join my Kino VIP School group.